Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework for anyone who's ever tried to make a big idea a reality. Whether you're leading a small team, a whole company, or maybe even just a project in your community.
All right, let's just dive right in with a number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. 70%. Decades of research show that a staggering 70% of all major change initiatives fail. Just let that sink in. 7 out of every 10 big, important ideas just fizzle out.
So why? What is going on here? Well, sometimes it's simple. They run out of money or they run out of time. But more often than not, it's the people. The very people you need to make it all happen, they just don't get on board. But what if there was a roadmap to actually avoid that fate?
Well, there is one. After looking at tons of successful transformations, a researcher named John P. Cotter found this really clear 8-step pattern that just consistently works. This isn't just some academic theory. It's a real practical guide that separates the wins from the failures.
So this is the whole journey, right here. All 8 steps. Now, to make this whole thing a little easier to digest, we're going to break it down into 3 main phases, starting with how to build a rock-solid foundation.
So, phase 1. It's all about creating the right climate, the right conditions for change to even have a chance. I mean, think about it. You can't build a skyscraper on shaky ground. And you definitely can't start a movement without a real, powerful sense of purpose. Okay, so let's break down this foundation. First, you need genuine, gut-level urgency. Not a manufactured panic, but a real feeling that we have to do this, and we have to do it now. Next, you need your team, a powerful guiding coalition. A dedicated group of volunteers who are fired up to lead the charge. And finally, you need a crystal clear vision, a picture of the future that's so compelling, people can't help but want to get there. Get these 3 right, and you are ready to roll. Okay, so you've got your foundation. Now we get to what is, honestly, the biggest hurdle of them all: communication. Getting people to actually buy into your idea, this is where the battle is won or lost. As a leader, you might feel like you're talking about the change all the time. But this quote, it just hits home. For the average person on your team, all that constant talk is basically a tiny whisper in the middle of a hurricane of their daily tasks. Let's put a number on that whisper. That 1 hour a month, that's less than 0.6% of an employee's time at work. Your huge, important message is competing with the other 99.4% of their job. It's no wonder it just gets completely lost in the noise. But okay, let's say you do manage to get their attention for a minute. There's another huge trap that so many leaders fall into. They think that a logical argument is all it takes to get people on board. You have to win over both the head and the heart. The head gets the business case, the spreadsheets, all the data. That's fine. But it's the heart that gives people the emotional fuel to actually push through the tough spots. It's the why that gets people to go the extra mile, not another slide in a PowerPoint deck. Seriously, think about it for a second. That one project at work, the one with so much potential that just died. Was the problem really with the idea itself, or was it because nobody told its story in a way that got people excited? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one.
All right, so let's say you did it. You captured both hearts and minds, and you've got genuine buy-in. Now you're in the final phase. This is all about taking that amazing energy and using it to accelerate forward. And, most importantly, making sure the change actually lasts.
Step 5 is all about empowering action. Once people are fired up, they're going to want to help. Your job is to get out of their way. And that means smashing through any roadblocks holding them back. Whether it's an old, clunky system, some ridiculous piece of red tape, or even a manager who's stuck in the past. Next up, you absolutely have to create some short-term wins. And these aren't just little check marks. They need to be visible, undeniable successes that prove to everyone that this new way is actually working. These early victories are so important. They build momentum, they quiet the doubters, and they make your team feel like they're part of something that's really winning. But here's a word of warning. Those early wins can be dangerous because it's so tempting to declare victory and just relax. You can't do that. You have to fight that complacency. Instead, you use the energy from those wins to take on even bigger problems, pushing and pushing until the vision is a complete reality. And finally, the last step, you have to make it stick. A new way of doing things is really fragile at first. You have to anchor it deep inside the company's culture. That means weaving it into promotions, training, everyday conversations, everything, until it's not the new way anymore. It's just the way we do things around here.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway? It's that successful change isn't luck, and it's definitely not an accident. It is a structured process. And maybe the most important part is that it forces you to connect with people emotionally, not just logically. You've got to win their hearts and their minds. So we'll leave you with this final question to think about. What's the biggest thing holding back change in your organization? Is it a lack of urgency? Is it that communication piece? Or is it something else entirely? We'd love to see what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.